Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to today's podcast of Her Version, a podcast dedicated to hearing stories of struggle to triumph. This is a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth and their words in order to inspire others. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. If you are new to this podcast, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share. Today, we have an amazing guest speaker that I am so excited to introduce you to. Her name is Jennifer Lynn. Jennifer is the owner and operator of Rogue Yoga, located in Michigan. She is an amazing mother of two, a great cook, and when she is not out kayaking or hiking, she finds herself tangled in a pretzel somewhere doing yoga. How are you, girl?
I'm good. How are you, Sabrina?
Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day, especially on a weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And Mother's Day tomorrow. I'm pumped for that. I know you being a fellow mom, it's a nice day to hang out and
100%. What do you planned?
Just relaxing, because that's something we just don't do anymore. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any shows you're watching?
No, not recently, but it's been so nice out that, I need to get back into some kind of, splurge and enjoy a show. But
are you spending time with the kids or
Yeah, sure. We're supposed to get some nice weather, so we're going to try and take advantage of that for sure.
That'll be fun. That'll be cool. My son actually was not supposed to be with me this weekend. He was supposed to be with his dad, but then last minute things got a little switched around. So he is here. So we're actually going to an escape room.
Oh, those are so much fun. You're going to have a blast with those.
Have you done them?
Yeah, if you like Nancy Drew, like Physics Figuring Out, yeah, oh, for sure. You guys have a blast.
Yeah, this is going to be our fourth one. I'm so excited. The first one I did with my fiance. Neither one of us likes scary movies, but for some ridiculous reason, I picked this room that was like a murder room. For the very first time we've ever done this, we were like chained to the wall. There was barely a light, and there was like, dead bodies and blood everywhere. We were freaking out, absolutely freaking out. It was super real, super real.
Do you have anything did they jump out at you or
noises? No. There was this, it was two rooms, which we didn't know. We'd never done one before, but there was like this secret book that you had to like pull or put. It was like magnetized, and then a door opened or the bookcase opened into another room. And when that opened, we were freaking out because it was so dark. It was barely lit. And then the other room was pitch black. So when we opened the door, the whole thing was caught on film, which was hilarious because they watch you. Yeah. And my fiance, so we hear a noise of like a man or something growling or something. And my fiance, instead of like shielding me, like, oh, watch out, my girl, he gets behind me. So I'm the shield and then pulls me towards the wall. I made fun of him for probably like 6 months after that. And then afterwards, after the room was done, I went straight to the people and I'm like, hey, do you guys have that on tape? Because my freaking fiance just used me as a shield. They're like, no way. So anyways, we caught it. We were laughing hysterically. It was so.
That's a good story. My first time in an escape room, and this is what happened. And then you're back for more.
So fun. Absolutely. What's the ones that you've done? Have you done any cool ones?
I did one, and I did one in Las Vegas, and it was 3 separate rooms, but it was like a gold mine was our theme. So you start off off in the woods, and then you find all these little things that lead you to a cabin, and then the cabin lifts, or the fireplace lifts up, and there's like a secret compartment to this big gold mine, But I have a funny story about that one. You get clues throughout, and you can't forget about those. Well, I forgot to get this little gold. I don't know what it was, like one of those gold rocks or something that we had to use for weight or something like that in the next room. So I'm like, I'll go get it. And I turn around and I go back up the slide into the fireplace, and I into my back because it came up quick. So like my spine doesn't curve. Your spine doesn't curve that way. So I ended up having like, I still have a scar, on the back because I'm like, I'll go get it. And I'm crawling back up a fireplace to go get this like little gold thing that we have to use for the next clue down in the gold mine. But I go again too,
That's
like,
so funny. Were you like actually injured? Where you were like kind of in pain?
Yeah, I was bleeding from my back from like putting pressure on. I'm like, I'm good. Let's just keep going.
Yes. Oh, that sucks. Well, cool. Good. That's a cool experience.
I mean, yeah, we got out. I think it was 15 minutes before the timer went up. So
wow.
So that's it was fun. It was funny.
That's cool. Yeah, we didn't make it out of our first one. The other ones that we've done after we have, but that first one, we still had a lot of time. Like, I think we were like 2 or 3 clues short. So we still needed like probably another 20 or 30 minutes. Towards the end, like the last 5 or 10 minutes, the girl got on. We were like, there was like a signal or something where you can like ask for help. We saw the countdown happening. So we were like, help, like we want to do it. We want to finish it. But I think the last one she helped us with. So it really wasn't ours. And then we still had 2 more after that. So, but we had so much fun though. It was I totally recommend it to everyone that I talk to. It's better than a movie,
It's
way
engaging. You can see if you go with a group of people, like who's the brains and who's, good at people's in their head, like everyone's got like a good strength, to go off of.
Exactly. And I like going with my boy because it's he's 17 now, but it's like something cool to do with him besides just, he doesn't really like going to the park and like doing stuff like that anymore, so it's like movies or dinner. So this kind of like mixes it up a little bit so we can still like have fun and laugh and like do cool things without, you kind of get bored with that other stuff now. As they get older, you kind of have to like change what you do so you can still hang out with them. Or else they don't want to hang out with you.
Oh yeah.
So crazy. So listen, what?
I said, that's a great night to go out and do.
Yeah. We're excited. I'm excited. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to talk to you. Our first conversation we had, and I think I even told you while I was on the phone with you, that was so inspiring. You are one of the most positive females, considering your story, that I've talked to. And as soon as I heard your backstory and saw the spark and the light that you still have, I had to share your stuff with people. So I just want to thank you again for coming on, and thank you for coming on a weekday or weekend. I know that, we all have lives and we all have stuff to do. But I really want you to be able to share your story, and I really want, others to hear it. So if you don't mind kind of fast forwarding and kind of letting us know what happened when it comes to, we're talking about love, we're talking about divorce, we're talking about narcissism, single mom, lots and lots of stuff. But just to kind of give everyone kind of a base of what's happening, do you mind talking about the love story, like how it happened and the love bombing and all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So starting from the beginning, I was 19 years old, and there was this guy that, like, my friend signed me up for a dating website. Because I was like, I'm gonna be single forever and travel the world. And she's like, why don't you try us out? So this guy started messaging me, and changed everything for me was the fact that you end up getting all these different messages from these other dudes. And then his was like, may I have this dance? And I'm like, oh, he's like a gentleman, And so I gave him a listening ear, and, but initially behind that, we ended up meeting at a coffee house, and I made like a comment about how much creamer he's put in his coffee. He laughed, and then we started talking. And then like that was in December of 2009 or 2008, sorry, December of 2008. So we went out quite a bit, almost every other day. He was 2 hours away from me. So he drove like 4 hours just to see me for like 2 hours. And I was a sports bar waitress at the time. So he would sometimes wait until like when I would get off at 2 a.m. just to like talk with me or whatever, just we could hang out and walk around, downtown or something. And it was just like, it was appealing. He was appealing to me because he was so ambitious and he was just like, I know what I want. And for me being a passionate person, all the other guys I was like talking with they were just like very lazy. They just didn't want to, they were like fine playing video games. So to have such a different person just come into your life, you're like intrigued, like, you kind of think like I do, this is interesting. And
how old were you guys?
I was 19. He was 22.
Oh, that's not a bad age difference.
No, not too. It was like 3.5. Yeah. So then the holidays happened and we went out almost every day. And he told me like within a week of knowing him that he was in love with me. And I like to kind of give you guys a backstory on me too. Like I never dated in high school, never dated in college because I was so set on like starting my own business and making moves. Like I was just like goal oriented.
That young.
Yeah. I wanted to open things and do things. I did have a chance at one point to, and this is really cool because I signed on to be a nurse. I was going to be a nurse in the Marines. And I ended up signing on to another program where they had me like with trying to condense everything, work in the hospitals in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. And we ended up having to go out to the jungles of Arabacoa and I like slicing down sugar canes with a machete. I'm like, I want to live, this life is just exciting to me. So boys, men, they were never on my radar. I was like all about like making changes, making moves and trying things. So for him to take my attention, like he had to really show me he was different from all these other dudes. And he had no problem like just telling me like all these things that I wanted to hear. And like it felt like I'm obsessed. But then you as a woman though, you're like, well, I'm worried about my partner cheating on me and just maybe not getting interested in me. And to know that he was just like so into me and that you kind of like, well, he's going to be a lifelong partner because, life happens.
Yeah.
So I saw him like as ambitious and loving, affectionate, that it was just like, it just drew me in because it was different and it was intense. And I'm again, like telling you, I'm just wanting to travel and do all these things. I like that passion and intensity. So, late January, so we're talking a month, he proposed to me. And we were thinking about getting a place together, but our families were very conservative that they wanted to do like a year engagement and then a wedding and then maybe a baby or something. And we're like, well, we want to live together. We want to live life. We want to do things. He's like, let's get an apartment together. And I said to him, coming from a Christian background, I'm like, I'd feel better if we were married, at least in the eyes of God, than just to hurry and get an apartment and just be boyfriend and girlfriend or fiancés, And so he's like, well, why don't we just get married right now? And he called up one of his friends, and February 1st, 2009, Super Bowl Sunday, I changed in this little white dress for $20 from like Route 21 or something at a gas station. And we got married right off the lake, and it was frozen, we're in your boots and your winter coats. And he called up his buddy and he's like, hey, I'm getting married. You want to be my best man right now? And we got wings afterwards. And it was just like being a simple girl and stuff too. I was like, hey, we're married and we'll do the whole family wedding later. And life was pretty great at that point. Just from the whole standpoint, that was 3 months of just intense, like so much love and so much like making long-term life plans that it just came at me at once in a 3 months time.
Wow. So, crazy. Yeah. So wait, so from the first time you met him until marriage, how much time?
2 months.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
And when you're young too, it's like, well, if you're in love, then we'll figure out the rest later, like we love each other. So,
Wow.
Now I'm 30, I think I'm 31. Yeah, I'm 31. No, yeah. At that point, you're kind of like, well, there's a lot more to that, honey. You're talking to yourself. So
that's crazy.